defense. Played collegiately at Virginia. Only the second time ever that Kansas City has visited. Jim Moore, a longtime coach with the New Orleans Saints, of course, resigned there, sat out, had a spot in the television booth for a couple of years. His counterpart in his first year as a head coach, 53-year-old Gunther Cunningham. 30 years, however, in the National Football League. Second down and 1. Play fake. Peyton Manning looks right. He's got Harrison, who got behind Chris Dishman. The fake forced Dishman to come up. A gain of 29.
And just another example of how advanced Peyton Manning is in only his second year. Of course, Marvin Harrison was here waiting for Peyton. Look at him just jogging off the line, timing the fake, not even looking back at his quarterback, just sensing when the fake from Manning was happening. Chris Dishman, really, there's no way you don't bite on that with Marvin Harrison just lollygagging off the line like that. Beautiful pattern.
Gain of 29, split backs on first down and 10. And off right side, Edgerrin James inside the 30. Flag is thrown from Bernie Kukar, and this one might involve a face mask. Second penalty against Kansas City. And they played relatively error-free last week.
We've got an injury down on the field. One of the Colts is down right at the 30-yard line.
5-yard face mask, number
Adam
75
Meadows is the injured Colt.
Added to the end of the run.
Adam Meadows is their starting right tackle, and only his third year. He was their number 2 draft choice a couple years ago. And for an offensive line that has played so well so far this year, if they lose Meadows, a big blow.
Adam Meadows walked off without assistance.
Actually, he ran over to the bench, which was really good news, because take a look at what happens. He's trying to finish his block. Number 75, Chester McLaughlin, is going to fall right on Meadows' left leg, right there. And you see how his knee flexes and his ankle gets caught underneath. But in what was really some good news, though, for the Colts, Meadows got up without assist and actually jogged over to the bench. So hopefully nothing too bad.
Third-year man Jamie Wilson moved from backup left tackle to right tackle now on this first down play. Harrison in motion. Straight drop back. Manning flips it out to Edgerrin James. Cuts inside to the 20-yard line. That'll be good for a first down. There is Chester McLaughlin. First down and 10 at the 20. And the Colts excellent inside the red zone. Draw play. Edgerrin James gets a good block from Larry Moore, who's hit from behind. And James spilled as he gets inside the 5-yard line.
Well, because Kansas City's so effective with play action because of their running game, the Colts are so effective with a draw play because of their passing game. But this is all Edgerrin James once he gets through. Look at this move right here on Dishman. And you're looking at why, when faced with the chance to draft Ricky Williams, Bill Polian and Jim Moore went for Edgerrin James.
4 100-yard-plus rushing efforts already, and he caught 7 passes for 92 yards against Dallas last week. First and goal, Indianapolis. James comes right. Caught and dropped. Eric Hicks, who had 1.5 sacks last week, his first as an NFL player, made the tackle on Edgerrin James.
What we've seen so far, Vern, I think has been an outstanding job by Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator for these Colts. He has really mixed it up. Started off with that stutter pattern to Marvin Harrison. There's Moore, who calls the game from the sidelines. But he really has Kansas City off balance.
Adam Meadows back at right tackle. Fumble.
Well, so much for that.
Yep.
Kansas City recovers.
Marcus Patton.
Marcus Patton comes up with a fumbled exchange between Larry Moore and Peyton Manning.
Coming into this game, the Colts were -4 in turnover margin, making -5. Colts turn it over at the 4-yard line. Fumbled exchange between Larry Moore and Peyton Manning. Now Elvis Grbac, he's got Donnell Bennett as the deep back in the I formation, and Bennett follows the lead block of Tony Richardson for a couple of yards. Mike Peterson with the tackle. Let's go back and look at the fumble.
All right, Larry Moore is the center. It looks like the ball comes up and just bounces right off the hands of Peyton Manning, and what really is kind of a bad stroke of luck for the Colts. Normally when the ball hits the hands of the quarterback, it bounces back. But look at that one. That ball propels forward right to Marcus Patton. He was either running on or off the field after that last play and didn't make it and fell.
Time called.
Michael Barber gets hurt with his right ankle. Right there, number 64, Larry Chester falls on it. And trying to get off the field, he only made it halfway and had to go down.
Here's Donnell Bennett's second carry. He's out to the 7-yard line. 12-yard line. And the tackle made by Sean King, number 96. So Barber on the bench. Radcliffe Thomas has taken his spot. Elvis Grbac in at starting quarterback has taken every snap for the Chiefs this year, as has Peyton Manning for the Colts. Very conservative offense the last couple of weeks. Only 31 passes attempted. Here's the handoff to Richardson on 3rd and short. Like Mike Peterson might have made the tackle short of the first down. And Bratsky was also part of it.
The surge from the Chiefs, but you take a look at it right there, splitting a couple of the double team blocks, the defensive line. Chester and Ellis Johnson doing a great job of getting through there along with Bratsky. Even though the initial surge looked like it was in favor of the Chiefs, effective splitting of the double team by the Colts.
Daniel Pope had one blocked last week against San Diego. Back to punt on 4th down. Short, and it takes a bounce to the left. That's great field position for Indianapolis for their second offensive possession. 29 on the Pope punt. First down Colts at the 48. First down 10 at the 47-yard line now. Backs in the I. Colts second offensive set here in the first quarter. And we may have another offside against Kansas City. Here's the flip out to Edgerrin James. And James with the catch, knocked out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. Looks like Donnie Edwards might have come across the neutral zone.
Offside, 92 defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
Let's check in with the third member of our commentary team. Here's Bonnie Bernstein.
Hi there, Vern. You know, we asked linebacker Donnie Edwards, what do you do about the Colts' prolific offense? And he said, you know, I'm surprised that after watching so much tape that a lot of the defenses didn't really get after Peyton Manning that much. He said as quick of a release as Manning has, you gotta, and he gets rid of the ball so quickly, you gotta pressure him. You gotta go after him with blitzes.
All right, here's a handoff to Edgerrin James on first down to the 33.
Peyton Manning, first of all, is being very effective in changing up his snap count. Twice so far he's gotten Kansas City offside just by using a hard count. You know, those are the little things that young quarterbacks normally, you know, they're so wide-eyed, they don't really think about all the subtle nuances of a game. Peyton Manning came to the NFL thinking like this.
Back foot again on second down. Here's the flip right side. Edgerrin James with another catch. This time in front of Derek Thomas. All right, Jim, we've got the Colts threatening again. They're at the 30-yard line on this second set of the first quarter. Terrence Wilkins goes wide to the left. Harrison in the slot. Peyton Manning has hit his first 4 and now comes up. How about that?
Directs a little traffic to his offensive line.
Here comes the blitz. Good blitz pickup, and Manning has a receiver drop it. Jerome Pathon had it and would have had the first down.
Well, Peyton kind of has to throw this off his heels a little bit. Initially, it looked like it's a little bit behind Pathon. Pathon has to slow down for it and almost makes a superior catch. if Peyton was able to lead Jerome Pathan a little bit with that ball, that would have been a relatively easy completion. That was good effort, though, by Kansas City with the pressure up the middle.
Mike Vanderjagt will try the 47-yard field goal. Steve Walsh will hold. Vanta snaps it back. And Vanderjagt gives the Colts a 3-0 lead. Midway through quarter number 1, Colts up by 3. 6:58 remaining opening quarter. 3-0 Colts get the 47-yard field goal on their second possession. Now Danny Kite, who was brought in about a month ago as a kickoff specialist, will tow this one. He had his first 2 touchbacks last week, but also knocked a couple out of bounds. Joe Horn is back to return. Mark Vanover's on the inactive list for the 2nd week in a row. Here's Horn at the goal line. Great speed. Counter punches out to the 29-yard line. Morris gets the handoff, finds an opening on the right side, a little stiff arm, and he motors out across the 40 with a 13-yard gain.
Well, when you talk to Kansas City and their offensive staff, they say that the amazing thing about Bam is at almost 260 pounds, he's the most light-footed of our running backs. And take a look at how nifty he is in sliding one hole to the outside to find the opening. It's rare agility for a man of that size.
Chad Cota with the tackle, and here's Morris for the 2nd time. This time he cuts left.
That was not very rare agility for a man.
Draw play. Darnell Bennett. Not much. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, the one thing about Kansas City and their offense, what you can expect is a handful of times a game for them to take the big shot off of play action. But other than that, it is smash mouth, here we come football from Gunther Cunningham. They run the ball percentage-wise more than any team in the league, and they don't mind telling you ahead of time, here it comes.
They will throw on 3rd and 5, and it comes to the left side. Tony Gonzalez, good enough for a 1st down and the first Kansas City penetration of Indianapolis territory.
A big wideout. That's what you'd say about Tony Gonzalez. Spends most of his time, of course, lined up tight as the tight end. But at 6'4", 250, you're talking about a relatively large target. And you know what? That is such a simple pattern. And if the corner's going to play off of him, take it every down.
Play fake. Gerback drills it. And it's caught by Lonnie Johnson, who was inactive last week after a problem with the Kansas City Police Department. So he was not in the lineup a week ago.
Well, the Chiefs play so much too tight. And this is simply Elvis after the play fake, moving to the right, and of course his receivers are moving with him. And effectively, he delivers that ball beautifully right to Lonnie Johnson. Elvis Gerback, again, a very big quarterback, not known for his mobility, but he's a lot more agile than you would originally think.
There's the draw play at the 32-yard line. And just to complete the story on Lonnie Johnson, arrested in a prostitution sting a week ago Friday night in Kansas City, thus made inactive for that game. 2nd down.
Of course, the Chiefs get Andre Rison back as well. He was declared inactive last week. He had a disturbance of the peace charge filed against him by Kansas City Police for something early Saturday morning. So he sat down last week.
2nd and 9. Play fake. Gerback deep right side over Jeff Burris, and he had Rison open.
Normally, the Chiefs run the ball at you a lot more before they go to the play action like this. Again, it's just one-on-one all the way. You look at the multiple moves that Rison puts on Burris, and it works. He's got 2 steps on the Colts corner, but Elvis just overthrows the ball by about a yard.
3rd and 9, Kansas City at the 32. Kevin Lockett and Joe Horn on the field now. And Derek Alexander is in the slot to the right. And they hand it off. And it works well. How about that?
Well, we complimented Tom Moore, the Colts offensive coordinator, for keeping the opposing defense off balance. Now we got a tip of the hat to Jimmy Ray, the Kansas City coordinator, who's doing exactly the same thing. There's big number 79, Dave Zott out in front. Glenn Parker, the left tackle. Tim Grunner to center. Very effective, and then it's up to Bam just to break a couple tackles. There's Jimmy Ray there in the middle calling the plays for the Chiefs.
Bam Morris on first down 10, circling to the right. 2 flags. This one will probably come back.
I think we'll get a hold here. But it's that surprising burst and that surprising speed we got a good look at there by Bam Morris. Who'd think a guy'd get around the corner like that? Of course, it helps that there was a hold.
Holding, 66 offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Victor Riley's the right tackle. Not only does he hold, but they start winging flags at him, and I think one of them hit him. There's Victor Riley there on the left side, 66, and you can see with his left arm, he really does a complete WWF takedown there. I think he got doinked with one of the flags too.
Adds to the indignity of it all.
Yes, it does.
First and 20. Here's Gerback.
Oh, great protection.
The answer's right. Comes to the short man, who is Bam Morris. And the Chiefs get inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. Coaches like Steve Mariucci have traded in their VCRs for computers. See the convergence of coaches and computers only on NFL.com. Second down. Joe Horn in.
I don't know what this play is, Vern, but it took Elvis Gerback about 8 seconds to call it in the huddle.
Draw play.
Go figure.
And that's going to leave Kansas City looking at a 3rd and 10. Bam Morris tackled by Larry Chester and Sean King.
If there is a real mismatch here, as we look at Larry Chester, he brings some needed bulk to the defensive line here for the Colts. Bernard Whittington, who normally would be starting in that position, is having to sit this one out. Mark Thomas, because of the concussion last week, is not playing today. But this Kansas City line has a tremendous weight advantage over the D-line of the Colts.
3rd and 10. That's Johnson in motion. 4-man rush for the Colts, and Gerback will tuck it. Not the most nimble-footed back there.
No, and that was really a nice job of staying at home and not letting Elvis to get out. I think Burt Berry, a linebacker, one of the guys in there. Ellis Johnson patrolling the line of scrimmage. They know that Elvis is not going to run away from anybody.
Now that brings on Pete Stoyanovich to try and tie this one up. 38-yard effort for Stoyanovich, who is 11 of 14 for the season. Back home in Indiana for Pete Stoyanovich. Played collegiately in Bloomington. And we are tied at 3. (3-3). 50 yards in 12 plays, and it shoots 6 minutes and 42 seconds off the clock.
Remember the first time Kansas City got the ball, they had to do it just outside their own goal line after the fumble by Peyton Manning. But when they finally got some field position, they were able to string together a good drive. And again, when you looked at Indianapolis and how they came out of the gate down deep in Chiefs territory 2 times to start this game, you know, this is a 3-3 ball game, and Gunther Cunningham is thrilled.
Wilkins awaits the kickoff of Pete Stoyanovich.
This kid is excited. Wilkins, Terrence Wilkins, he's only a rookie. He's a wee thing at 5'8", 179, but he is fun.
Some explanation being given to Gunther Cunningham. Not sure if there's a headset problem or a clock problem or what, but whatever it might have been has been taken care of. Now, Peyton Manning was talking with us last night about Terrence Wilkins and how he advised the free agent rookie wide receiver early last summer that he needed to get his head in the playbook. and learn, study, and he did. Came back to training camp. He's now a starter, and he has great speed. And he is dragged down by Eric Warfield, but not before he gets out to the 42.
If he's able to get around Warfield, who did his job playing the safety on the kickoff return, Terrence Wilkins is gone. Nothing there. Look at his ability to get to the outside. And luckily for Kansas City, Eric Warfield saw Wilkins make his break and didn't have to fight off a block to get to him. This kid is he's just waiting to explode every time he touches the football.
First down and 10. With 5 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Manning comes right, has a man wide open, and that man is the familiar figure of Marvin Harrison.
Well, Chris Dishman gave Marvin Harrison about a 10-yard cushion. 34-year-old Chris Dishman said, "You are not going deep on me." Well, then you don't need to go deep because you string 6 or 7 of these together and you're in the end zone. Chris Dishman at no time was within 5 yards of Marvin Harrison.
That is the end of the first quarter in Indianapolis with our score tied RCA Dome right after this message. Welcome back to the RCA Dome, downtown Indianapolis. Quarter number 2, Kansas City against the Indianapolis Colts. Vern Lundquist, Dan Deerdorf, Bonnie Bernstein, Peyton Manning, and the Colts with a second down and just across the 50. Edgerrin James.
Chiefs are showing more 5 against 6. He's only 245 pounds. He's a scat back by Cincinnati standards, by Kansas City standards, rather. Lonnie Jones.
34-yard line. Donnell Bennett. Draw play. Edgerrin James in trouble. And stopped for a loss back to the 47-yard line. Derek Thomas and Donnie Edwards. Let's check in with Bonnie Bernstein.
All right, Vern, after Donnell Bennett scored on that touchdown run, a very disappointed Cornelius Bennett took his helmet off and was greeted at the sideline by Jim Mora, who shook his head, showed great disappointment that Cornelius Bennett, as the leader of this defense, let his team get sucked in for that Bennett touchdown.
All right, thank you, Bonnie. Second down, 11. Manning. Marvin Harrison's ball is down by contact at the 40. It'll be third down.
The Colts love to run a lot of slants. Let's take a look at possession, certainly established. And when he hits the ground is when the ball comes out. That is a very good job by the officials of ruling that down by contact. He established possession of the ball, which means he was then running with the football. And then we're back to the old rule, the ground can't cause a fumble. Keep in mind, if that had just come down with the pass, then it's a different story.
Blitz coming on 3rd and 5. Donnie Edwards chasing Peyton Manning. Wilkins gets the pass to Manning, the first down.
And this is one look at Peyton Manning that shows us so much more than thinking of him as just some type of a straight back pocket quarterback. A lot of movement. Peyton Manning very comfortable on the run. Gets a little pressure inside from Leslie O'Neal, but look how comfortable he is on the move. And of course, if you're a receiver and you know you've got Peyton Manning, staying alive means everything.
1st and 10 at the 30. Manning 10 of 13 now for 123 yards. Will go from the gun on 1st down and 10. Pumps, goes to Edgerrin James. Beauty. James slips a tackle and is in for the touchdown.
is nothing short of brilliant by both Peyton Manning and then Edgerrin James. There is why the Colts drafted James instead of Ricky Williams. They wanted an every down back who could replace Marshall Faulk coming out of the backfield as a receiver. But how about the quality of that pass from Peyton Manning right on the palms of a sprinting Edgerrin James?
Extra point up and through. Edgerrin James, 5 receptions for 57 yards. This is a very young Indianapolis team, and there's the youngest of the bunch, Edgerrin James. Go back and take a look.
Remember the play they ran earlier where Peyton Manning tossed it underneath to Terrence Wilkins? Here comes the fake of that play. 80 is Wilkins. There's the fake. That catches the whole Kansas City defense. Now, while that's happening, here comes Edgerrin James over here out of the backfield. Marv Fitzpatrick is trying to run with him, but Peyton Manning with a perfect pass. And Jerome Woods, that was not much of an effort in trying to knock Edgerrin James out of bounds at about the 5-yard line.
Danny Kite with the kick. Joe Horn grabs it at the 10. Goes by Keith Elias and comes right. And then is knocked out of bounds at the 36-yard line is Joe Horn. Tony Blevins. He has now thrown a touchdown pass in 21 consecutive games. He breaks a tie. He's the 12th player to ever do so. He breaks a tie with Dan Fouts and climbs into a tie with Warren Moon and Jeff Blake. The only game in which he did not throw a pass was Game 3, his rookie season, a touchdown pass when the Colts were defeated by the Jets 44-6. Here's the toss to Bam Morris. Mike Peterson, nice open field tackle.
Hello. I'm a rookie and I'm bad and I know it. Mike Peterson, look at this is how you finish a tackle. And this is not a 180-pound guy. This is Bam Morris, all 257. Look at this. Pick him up and put him down, Mike Peterson. Oh, now that gets everybody at the RCA Dome fired up.
2nd and 9. Gerback pressured. Caught and dropped. Tyrone Poole, the cornerback.
Well, Vic Fangio decides, hey, well, I've got the crowd on my side. Everybody's a little jacked up after that play by Peterson. Let's come with the corner blitz. So he comes after Gerback with Tyrone Poole, who turned in a dogged effort in staying after Elvis Gerback.
Risen breaks and goes left. Joe Horn, Derek Alexander come right. 3rd and 14, Colts in the nickel defense. Screen pass, Donnell Bennett. Tyrone Poole had a pretty good series.
Yes, he did.
Daniel Pope on to punt. And Terrence Wilkins at the 20.
I'd try to pin him up against the sideline. I'm not sure I'd kick straight downfield to Wilkins.
Well, they go left.
That's exactly what they did.
Yes, indeed. Well done. And smart.
I think Wilkins has reached that point where you do everything you can do to kick away from him.
From the 24, Colts have it back. Edgerrin James. Good defensive play on the outside by Donnie Edwards. Now we're at the point of the NFL season, and it's time to separate the contenders from the pretenders. Get a complete review of every team as they position to battle for the playoff spots. Just click on NFL at cbs.sportsline.com. 2nd and 10. Chester McLaughlin mighty jump. Here's the pass to Edgerrin James. Out to the 35-yard line. Well, Manning using that little...
He's got the change-up in cadence working in his favor. Now, keep in mind, if Chester is the guy that jumps.
Offside, defense left tackle, penalty is declined, first down.
Chester is a guy that over the course of his career has made a habit out of doing this. And then you see Chester, number 75. Chester McLaughlin is a guy that can be drawn off sides. His motor is running at 110% in that stance. And every quarterback in the league knows if you work at it, you can get Chester.
Blitz, Donnie Edwards. They hand, Edgerrin James with a stiff arm, but what a fine play by Jerome Woods. And it may have been too fine.
Here come flags everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, Jerome Woods is arguing he was doing it to me. I think every one of those guys threw a flag.
Personal foul, grabbing and pulling on the face mask, 21 defense, 15 yards to the end of the run, first down.
The running back is provided the opportunity to protect himself, and that is what Edgerrin James is doing right there. As he puts the hand right on, looks like right on the throat of Jerome Woods. And Woods then, while he's on the ground, reaches up and grabs James' face mask. The running back will always get the benefit of the doubt in that call.
Play fake again. Manning, crossing pattern, Marcus Pollard. Beautifully conceived play. Beautifully executed play. 27-yard gain. Peyton Manning finds his backup tight end. We've reached the 2-minute warning in Indianapolis. Colts lead it by 3, 13-10. 5 possessions now, and they're inside the 30 for the 5th time. This is against the Kansas City defense that pitched a shutout a week ago.
And one of the 7th-ranked defense in the NFL, and Peyton Manning is just on fire. 13 of 16, 192 yards. He's already got a touchdown pass, and just everything he's doing is working. I give a lot of credit to offensive coordinator Tom Moore. He's calling a beautiful game, and he has everybody in a blue shirt involved.
And you can see how effective Manning has been on first downs thus far, and he has one right now. Audible at the line. Manning back to throw. Screen pass. Intercepted. Picked off by Chester McLaughlin. And McLaughlin rumbles. He slips a tackle of Steve McKinney. Now steps over Manning. Fumbles the ball. Laterals it back to Reggie Tongue.
That might be the best run of the day so far by Chester. Now we've got a flag all the way back down at the 33-yard line. And obviously declined. And Chester.
Holding, 78 offense. Penalty is declined. First down.
Sorry, Glenn, the left tackle called for holding. That's irrelevant. Peyton Manning, somehow this pass from such short range sticks right on the hands of Chester McLaughlin. But look at this run. 3 broken tackles, 4 broken tackles, 5 broken tackles, and it throws it over his back right to Reggie Tongue.
Now Reggie Tongue scored on a lateral from Donnie Edwards 2 weeks ago. And here is Donnell Bennett. That was against Baltimore.
There's no way that Chester McLaughlin sees Reggie Tongue. He just chucks that thing over his shoulder. Chester, boy, did you get lucky.
Kansas City leads the National Football League in turnover ratio in 1999. Here's the handoff to Donnell Bennett, and he gets to the 30. .104 to go before the halftime break. Sean King and Mike Peterson make the tackle. NASDAQ halftime report with Jim, Craig, Randy, and Jerry. Scores and highlights and a preview of the 49ers and the Steelers. and 5. Gerback to his tight end. It's incomplete. Gonzalez.
Let's go back and take a look at it. Now, Chester McLaughlin, he does a spiral, and then without looking, wings it back over his shoulder, and Reggie Tongue just happens to be standing there and catches it. That was not a thing of beauty, Chester, but everything up to that point was spectacular.
Stoyanovich on 4th down for the field goal. 47 yards. No good.
Pulls it left all the way from the very beginning, and it really didn't have enough leg behind it to begin with. Even if that ball was straight, I don't think it had enough to get there. That pretty much tells it all. So the big play by Chester McLaughlin, the interception of Manning, ends up in nothing for Kansas City, other than the fact that they stopped the Colts on what looked like a scoring drive.
28 seconds to go before the break. And Manning back to throw. Pressure from the outside. Goes deep. Incomplete. Marcus Patton got back and was defending Marvin Harrison. And as we just reminded you, the NASDAQ halftime report, Jim, Craig, Randy, and Jerry. Scores and highlights here at the midway point of the 1999 season.
And I like the fact that the Colts, with a 3-point lead, are not content to sit on the football. They took a shot.
But gosh, last week Dallas was in here with 1:11 to go before halftime. 3 timeouts left, and they ran the clock out. Jan Gailey was heavily criticized back in Dallas for that decision. 12-yard gain on the final play. Well, timeout called before we get to halftime. 16 seconds to go before the break. Indianapolis has 2 timeouts remaining.
And they need somewhere in the area of a 17 to a 20-yard pickup here to move into field goal range. How about Peyton directing track?
Pretty casual. Here comes the rush from the outside. Reggie Tongue sacks him all the way back at the 30. Flag. Colts.
Holding against Indianapolis one more time. This, of course, will be declined when you get a sack of that magnitude.
Holding 50 offense. Penalty is declined. Still first.
Well, Peyton, the pocket breaks down right away. You can see already guys after him. But he rolls right to the direction of the blitz, and Reggie Tongue has a pretty easy time of it, putting Manning away. Good job that time by Kurt Schottenheimer of not sitting back in the dreaded prevent defense and giving Manning something soft underneath. As you can see, they're the best in the NFL this year in protecting the quarterback. Only 4 sacks. Extraordinary number coming into this game.
Edgerrin James gets the handoff, dodges the attempted tackle of Derek Thomas, and is stopped at the 31. And that will end the first half of play.
And the most broken tackles by a runner this game, Chester McLaughlin.
Blindest lateral by a runner this game. Chester McLaughlin. 13-10. Indianapolis has the lead. Let's go down to Bonnie Bernstein.
All right, Vern, thank you, Coach. Only Peyton's 5th sack of the year just before the half, but what's pleased you most about your offense?
Well, we've made some big plays, you know, in critical situations, but we've had 2 real critical turnovers down there, you know, one on the 5 and then one where we had a chance to get some points, and that's really hurt us. But we've made some big plays on offense. We just got to hang on to that football.
All right, Jim, thank you. Vern?
All right, Bonnie. 13-10, despite the offensive output of the Indianapolis Colts. They have only a 3-point lead as we reach the halftime break. Back to New York after these messages. Morris, a couple of yards around the right side. Ellis Johnson is among those down lows. Cornelius Bennett, Jeff Burris. There were a trio of tacklers. Ellis Johnson said his post-athletic ambition is to become a professional fisherman.
Well, big money in those things, and of course Ellis, I'm sure, won't be having to worry about the cost of worms after playing in the NFL for as long as he's been around.
You're suggesting he can pay for the bass boat as well.
A #1 draft choice never worries about the cost of bait.
Here's Alexander, another crossing pattern, and the Chiefs are out across the 50, a 13-yard gain.
I have a tough time hearing Ellis go, hey, man, have you seen the cost of crickets lately? They're out of sight. Elvis Gerback. Simple little inside slant to Alexander. Chad Cota right there, but again, when the slant is well run and the timing between the quarterback and the receiver is there, the most difficult pattern in football to defend.
1st and 10 at the 48. Morris to the 45-yard line. Cornelius Bennett, Michael Barber. 2 of the 3 linebackers are there.
And it's good to see that Michael Barber is back in the game.
Well, Bam Morris was telling us last night, Dan, he didn't get a lot of repetitions in training camp. They were trying Kimball Anders, a tailback. He's out, of course, for the season with an injury. Sheehy was there. They were Donnell Bennett going back and forth.
Mike Cloud, their rookie. Right. So he said, I did get a lot of work in it, and thus I wasn't in great shape.
This run around the right side to the 42-yard line. Jeff Burris makes the tackle. Let's check in with Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Vern, 2 plays ago after Bam Morris ran the ball, I saw him shaking his right hand. That's probably because he's got a torn tendon in his right thumb. He's been playing because Kimball Anders is out for the year. Rashawn Sheehy's been hurt, but he told us as soon as the season's over, he's going to need surgery on that thumb, Vern.
All right, Bonnie, he is out on 3rd down now. Bennett in the backfield. Play fake. Cornelius Bennett chases Gerback. They've got a man open, and the pass complete to the backup tight end, Lonnie Johnson. That is a gain of 12 for KC.
Well, if Jim Mora was mad at Cornelius Bennett before, he's going to be mad at him again, because that's his responsibility. Come upfield before you flatten out and go in pursuit. He allowed Elvis to get to the outside, and that's why there was a completed pass there. You know, you're hustling as a linebacker, trying to get in on a play, chase it down, but you've got to take a couple steps upfield in case that quarterback is going to roll your way.
Chiefs have moved from their own 12 to the 30-yard line. Play fake again. Gerback goes right side. This is Andre Rison with the catch. And a gain of 11 in front of Jeff Burris.
Well, Andre Rison really sells Burris on the fact that he's going deep. Watch how he turns him all the way around. Right there, Burris late to react coming back in. And I don't know what Burris saw in Rison that he thought he was going all the way to the end zone. An awful lot of cushion for a guy who's not quite as fast as he used to be.
Rison limited in his output this year as Kevin Locken and Joe Horn have come on, and they are on the field now. Here's a play fake again. Gerback settles, finds a man in the end zone. Lockett, touchdown.
Well, the play action fake completely negates an Indianapolis pass rush. there is not a Colt within 5 yards of Elvis Grbac. Look at the protection after this fake. Grbac just stands there, stands there, stands there. Nobody's even close to him. And Lockett comes up with the TD. It's not very hard to get open in this league when the quarterback has 6 or 7 seconds to stand in the pocket.
And Kevin Lockett with a little tribute to the basketball history of this state after he scores. Kevin Lockett, in his 3rd year, having played collegiately at Kansas State, gets his first NFL touchdown on the pass from Elvis Grbac. And that completes an 88-yard drive, which opens the 3rd quarter of play.
And the Chiefs had more passing, Vern, on that drive than they had in the entire first half. And give Lockett credit for a few style points at the end. Everybody's trying to come up with something new. Now, that's the first free throw I've seen.
Here's the kick taken by Wilkins at the 11. Coming right and hammered as he gets to the 35. Tony Richardson. Colts have the ball. First time, second half, trailing by 4. Chiefs back on top by 4, 17-13. In the second half last week, the Colts overcame a huge deficit, double-digit deficit against Dallas, and they scored points on their first 5 possessions. They've got a first down now at their own 36-yard line. Timeout. Colts have to burn one. Time called with 8:48 to go in the 3rd. .848 to go in the 3rd. And Peyton Manning had to call timeout. He has the team back at the line of scrimmage now. 1st and 10. First possession of the second half. Wow.
Sure glad they talked it over.
78 offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Terry Glenn, the left tackle, gets called for the false start as he jumped way ahead of time.
Now that cost the Colts 5. Kevin Lockett with the go-ahead touchdown. Gosh, it seems like 15 minutes ago. He's still thinking about the celebration. 1st and 15. Looks like Manning wanted the shovel pass. Instead, he has his 2nd sack. And Derek Thomas now has 123.5 in his career.
And he's not anywhere close to being done. Derek Thomas unblocked coming in. He looks like Terry Glenn was thinking about blocking him, but by the time he turned to the outside, Derek Thomas already passed him. So this has been a rather unattractive series so far for the Colts. Timeout, false start, sack. 2nd and forever.
We need Johnny Mathis. Well, Chester McLaughlin either decided on his own to come across and disrupt things, or he was influenced.
Encroachment, 75 defense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And so they'll come back the other way.
Well, it was fun watching Kevin Lockett score his first touchdown, but again, be unique, do something different. Now, how about this? Last night, they honored the 50 greatest players, basketball players in Indiana history. I think in keeping with the theme, Kevin Lockett says, hey, I'll honor them with not a bad-looking free throw of his own. Well, this is unbelievable. Now Derek Thomas goes offside.
This offside, 58 defense, unabated to the quarterback, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
You know, they may get a first down by penalty here to keep this up.
If this was a painting, you'd paint it with a roller. This is not very attractive. That truly defines unabated.
We're almost back where we started. It's second down 11. Here comes the blitz. Manning finds Ken Dilger, the tight end. And Dilger gets by Leslie O'Neal and then lowers the boom on Jerome Woods.
Well, that's a great look there at a blitz adjustment. Dilger lines up in the backfield, as he has a lot this game. He starts in the backfield. Here's Dilger right here, and that's all he's there for. And Leslie O'Neal gets over there, but I think this isn't touch football, Leslie. You got to knock him out of bounds. He did get two hands on the shoulder pads. Dilger, though, didn't stop. Nobody told him this was touch.
Gain of 30, 1st and 10 at the 35. Edgerrin James behind Peyton Manning. Peyton is in the slot to the left side. Edgerrin James gets 3 to the 32. Speaking of those 50 greatest basketball players, John Wooden was on the plane coming into Indianapolis. And what a thrill to see him and have him come back and be honored here among the 50 greatest. Here's Manning, here's Harrison, and it's a first down Colts at the 18.
Again, offensive coordinator Tom Moore, remember yesterday, said, you know, we love slants. We run a lot of slants. That's all this is. 1, 2, 3, plant, push, go inside. Chris Dishman is just, you know, you've got to really be expecting that to be able to get in front of it. There is Tom Moore, the veteran offensive coordinator, who gets a lot of credit around the league for the way he has handled and managed the growth of Peyton Manning.
1st and 10.
Who wouldn't sign up for that duty?
5.5 to go, third quarter. Here's Edgerrin James. Down to the 16. Well, you saw Buffalo leading the Redskins. Here are the AFC East standings. Miami 6-1. New England 6-2. The Colts lost to New England and lost to Miami. The controversial loss to Miami.
Yes, where a replay ruling went against Indianapolis. They felt that they were victimized in that game. They had the Dolphins beat. Interesting for Indianapolis, if the playoffs started today, they wouldn't be in.
Here's Manning a little low.
That's how competitive things are in the AFC. At 5-2, the Colts would not be in the playoffs if they started today. That's keeping them motivated.
And here's why this game has significance in the AFC West. Kansas City currently tied with Seattle. San Diego at 4-3, and then Oakland, and of course the Broncos with that 0-4 start. Jim Mora, second season. Gunther Cunningham, first year as a head coach. Third down, Wilkins goes left, Harrison comes right. Dishman up to play bump and run. Jerome Woods hollering at Chris Dishman.
Oh, they didn't get it. They didn't get it.
Delay.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Peyton Manning told us that he was going to try to get Kansas City to jump off sides a few times, or at least to show their blitz by lifting his leg back in that shotgun formation, acting like it's a silent snap count, but still barking out the signals. Let's see if he does it again. See, they don't need it. There's no crowd noise. They're at home. But he got Kansas City to show their blitz.
Manning out of the backfield to Harrison. One-on-one left side, short of the first down. The tackle made by Reggie Tongue.
That's a great look there of Peyton Manning trying to get Kansas City to show who's coming on the blitz. They time their blitzes so well. Their guys, they get a head start coming towards the line of scrimmage. Before he got the ball, I think Peyton Manning had a pretty good idea of who was coming from where and what coverage he was going to see. And that's pretty simple on a crossing underneath to Marvin Harrison.
Field goal attempt now to pull the Colts to within one. Mike Vanderjagt knocks it home. So the Colts get 3 on their first possession, but Kansas City still up by 1. 17-16 Kansas City with exactly 4 to go third quarter. Series tied at 6-6. And the Colts go 52 yards in 8 plays. They have to settle for 3. Now Danny Kite will kick off again. Joe Horn waits at the goal line. At the 2. Flags are down. This one will come back. Horn spilled as he reaches the 40-yard line. Tony Blevins made the tackle.
Holding 97 on the return team on the run back. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Penalty called on defensive end Ty Parton. Chiefs lead by 1, and they have the football. They went 88 yards on their first possession of the second half. Bennett out of the backfield. Gerback, quick setup, right side. That one is caught by Joe Horn. Modest gain. Doubleheader for you here at the midway point of the 1999 season. And in game 2 on CBS, Pittsburgh goes into San Francisco to take on the 49ers. Denver at San Diego. And Cincinnati at Seattle.
Vern, how about Kansas City today on first down and the way they are throwing the football? A real changeup by Jimmy Ray, Elvis Gerback, and this entire offense running now on short yards. But they have really done a nice job of not being as predictable as Gunther Cunningham would like everybody to believe that they are.
Second down and 2. And there in the middle of your picture is Jimmy Ray.
I don't know how many people out there remember Jimmy Ray as the quarterback of that great Michigan State team with Bubba Smith and Clinton Jones and George Webster and Gene Washington back in 1965, 1966.
10-10 with Notre Dame.
That was it. Jimmy Ray was their quarterback.
Here's Gerback again with time, and he finds Joe Horn, who had eluded the defensive backs. Gerback with excellent protection and a gain of 12.
When Horn comes up limping a little bit. Nothing very complicated about this, but because of the great speed of Horn, you notice that Jason Belzer, way out of the picture, doesn't even come in until the very end. But again, Vern touched on it. This offensive line of the Chiefs is giving Elvis Gerback unbelievable protection.
Let's see if Gerback throws on. No, he'll hand it off this time. Donnell Bennett pounds it at left guard and picks up 2 into the hands of Sean King.
But what you have here from Kansas City, Vern, even if they don't score points, they have moved away from their own end zone. This has already been a productive drive for Kansas City, even if they don't get another first down.
This one started at the 15. It is second down and 7.
The Colts, to no one's surprise, not much of a factor running the ball, though you'd think they'd do more than that. The Chiefs, to no one's surprise, go over 100 yards again.
Gonzalez comes in motion, play fake. Gerback hit as he lets it go, and Jason Belzer had it pop off his shoulder pad. Boy, that hit him right in the body.
And Tyrone Poole came on a corner blitz, and you think Elvis Gerback is a big quarterback? Tyrone Poole just bounced off of it. Here's Tyrone Poole down here. He's going to come in. Now take a look at this. First of all, he's going to bang into Gerback and fall down. And Belzer almost comes up with it at the other end.
Lockett, Alexander come left. Joe Horn, top of your screen. 3rd and 7, 4-man rush. Gerback avoids the tackle of Bratsky and throws it away. It'll be 4th down.
Oh, that was an excellent rush by Chad Bratsky, who leads the Colts with 7 sacks. He went right to the spot where Elvis Gerback was. It's just when he dove for the tackle, Elvis wasn't there anymore. Watch Elvis Gerback. He's going to sense trouble coming and Bratsky just gets air as Gerback again shows his pocket awareness and his ability to escape.
Daniel Pope back to punt. Terrence Wilkins drifts over to his left. Takes it in.
I love this guy.
I do too. Wow. This one's going to come back. We've got a flag thrown.
I don't care. There's entertainment value when Terrence Wilkins gets the football under his arm. He runs big.
Played high school ball in suburban Washington, D.C., where he was a running back, and he broke records.
Illegal block in the back. 91 of the return team on the run back. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Forget the hold. Forget that this comes back. This is just fun to watch a guy who is this nifty. Keep in mind, 179 pounds. He has taken some big shots today. He's going to take one here at the very end. Right there. That's an awfully good hit. So this is a guy, Vern, that the Colts just rave about. He's going to get a try as a kick returner during training camp. They're thinking, well, geez, maybe he can contribute on the passing game. And now he's evolved into, you know, in many ways, a guy that's kicking game, regular offense, extremely valuable.
After the penalty on Chucky Wakori, it's first down, and Manning throws right side. And that one, a battle with Chris Dishman and Marvin Harrison, and it is incomplete.
Now this time Chris Dishman all over Marvin Harrison, although he doesn't know where the football is, and gets fortunate that it bounces off his arm. He was tight with Harrison, but Chris Dishman never turned around and didn't see the ball. Chris, you see him motioning with his hand, or he's just asking for the call from the huddle. He didn't have time to get all the way back to it.
Second down and 10. 45 seconds to go, third quarter. Manning drifting right. Incomplete. Intended for Harrison. Third down.
Bratsky getting a tape job over on the Indianapolis bench.
Field position the issue here on 3rd and 10. Manning pumps once, has a man wide open. It's Harrison down around the shoe tops, and he makes the grab for a very important third down conversion.
Boy, from press box level, that looks like a pass that's going to one-hop to Marvin Harrison. Boy, does he go down and dig this out. Oh, that is so good, folks. That is so good. That's why you start talking about Marvin Harrison and Edgerrin James and Peyton Manning and where they are going.
1st and 10. As the quarter comes to an end before the snap is made. That is the end of 3 quarters of play from the RCA Dome in Indianapolis. Kansas City leads it 17-16. We'll return right after this word from your local station. And we welcome you back to the RCA Dome in Indianapolis, Indiana. We begin the 4th quarter. Vern Lundquist, Dan Deerdorf, and Bonnie Bernstein. 2 5-2 teams, each coming in with a 3-game win streak, and the game a 1-point margin right now. Marvin Harrison has caught 7 thus far, and look how they've distributed this.
Well, they certainly are going against Chris Dishman and taking advantage of that matchup. Of course, I don't know that there's a more effective cornerback right now in the AFC than James Hasty. Certainly Ty Law in New England comes to mind, and Woodson in Oakland, but James Hasty, for an old guy at 12 years, boy, is he playing good football.
First down and 10, Colts. Eric Warfield's in as a nickelback now, lined up to the left side. Here's Edgerrin James, and James Hasty as if on cue.
You know, Woodson's a kid, Ty Law's a kid, but you know, 34 years old playing corner, you're in that territory where things start to creak and groan a little bit.
Second down.
Edgerrin James is the only running back that has carried the football this season for the Indianapolis Colts. We asked Jim Mora. He goes, hey, he's young and he makes a lot of money. He'll be all right.
Second down and 4.
So much for that.
Right. Blitz. Manning delivers behind Terrence Wilkins. Let's check in with Bonnie Bernstein.
Vern, a Colts win today would be their 4th comeback victory of the year, but Peyton Manning said last week's comeback against Dallas was a breakthrough game for his team. He said, we were down 17-3. Last year, we would have packed it in and said it's over. This year, we said, hey, let's not panic. Let's keep to our game plan. And he said it was nice for us to answer the bell to a game a lot of people considered an important game, Vern.
All right, Bonnie, well, here's one difference last year to this. Last year, they lost 5 double-digit leads. This year, they have overcome 2 double-digit deficits. Last year, of course, they were 3-13.
As they were the year before that.
Absolutely. There's a one-hopper. That was not pretty.
2 ugly ones in a row coming off the hand of Peyton Manning. Did this thing get touched? This thing looked... No, it didn't seem so. But boy, that where that thing was going, I'm assuming it was headed towards Jerome Payton.
Let us introduce you to Hunter Smith. First punt of the day for the Indianapolis Colts. And Larry Parker, the rookie from USC, is back to return this one. He plays in place of Mark Vanover. Parker return punts. Wow, for the first punt, that's fairly effective. But he may have outkicked his coverage. Flags are down. Larry Parker fumbled. Scramble for it. Tito Rutan is on the ball, so the Colts might have a couple of options.
Well, no signal yet. Now, wait a minute. Yes, there it is. It does belong to the Colts. If this is any type of a holding or illegal use of the hands against the Chiefs, obviously it'll be declined.
Holding 43 on the return team on the run back. Penalty is declined. First down.
All right, let's take a look at it. This is what you're seeing. Parker out into the open, and he just loses the football as he begins to lose his footing. Larry Parker fights through this tackle. He still has the football. But as he struggles to maintain his balance, he just loses the football as his right arm comes away from his body. Whoa, baby. You hate to lose the ball without at least taking some type of a hard hit to jar it loose.
First down at the 46-yard line. Edgerrin James into the secondary. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another.
Folks, if you haven't seen this kid play yet, there is nothing about him not to like. He has great change of direction. He has innate skills and instincts. He has power, as you see him go right over Jerome Woods. The only problem is he's fumbled the ball a half a dozen times, and that time he did a lot better job of keeping it tucked in close to his body.
Gain of 28 yards and a first down at the 27. Quick setup, pump fake, down the middle, over the shoulder, tipped incomplete, intended for Marvin Harrison. And he was open.
You know, he had a step on the defense, but that means that Peyton Manning, look at that now, you know, he's just barely beyond James Hasty.
Yep.
And he's got Gracie Walker, the safety, to his inside. You know, that is just a perfect throw by Manning. The only person in the world that could have caught that was Harrison. No chance of being intercepted. Yes, it would have been a highlight film catch, but that's why they have highlight film.
Harrison goes wide to the right. And the Colts go out of the shotgun. See if Kansas City's bringing men. Shovel pass. Wilkins. This time Marcus Patton is there to provide the stop on Wilkins.
Well, this is a pass that the Colts have shown before, and that's just good study work and good recognition by Marv Fitzpatrick. Came in from Washington this year after 4 years there, 5 years in Buffalo, and he has become the most productive player. Look at number 53, fight through the blocks. He sees that thing coming, and he has become really the free agent find for the Chiefs this year.
3rd and 14, Colts trail by 1. Blitz. Edgerrin James, seen that play before. Gain of 21.
Let's take a look at it from up top. It's nothing more than right down. Hey, this is the most uncomplicated play in football. The Chiefs have some confusion in their secondaries. 2 of their guys run together. The byproduct is James is left alone. Look at this day that he's having. 152 all-purpose yards between the running and the receiving. Edgerrin James, I think, running away with Offensive Rookie of the Year.
And again, the Indianapolis Colts have to use a timeout. They have a 1st and goal.
Well, here's what led to that timeout. Marcus Pollard knows that if he lines up on the line, somebody's got to get back. He's telling Ken Dilger, get back, get back. But by the time he finally gets there and gets square, Peyton Manning has run out of time. And he's not happy that he has to burn a timeout, leaving them with only 1 and a lot of critical football yet to be played.
Double tight end set, 2 wide receivers, and James in the backfield. Manning scrambles and is down at the 7.
And I think that was Dan Williams that ends up getting a hand on Peyton Manning. Let's take a look at it right here. Williams is number 92. Is he the guy that gets him? Yeah, right there. He's going to fall back in. Boy, if he doesn't trip him up a little bit, there might be a few more there for Peyton Manning. But again, a 2nd-year guy, Vern. Hey, no diving head first into the end zone for me. I'll slide and be safe.
Paul Shields comes into the backfield now with Edgerrin James. That's Wilkins who comes in motion. Manning looks and runs and scores.
Holding up the sign for 2 fingers. They're going to go for 2. Trying to give themselves a 7-point lead, Vern.
Larry Parker's fumble on the punt return that set up this drive.
Peyton Manning set this up beautifully. The coverage by the Chiefs is fantastic. He's got 4 receivers out there and can find no one. But because of the coverage, there's no containment either. Nobody comes off and comes up. Boy, this kid is just too good to be true.
Colts go for 2.
They're going to take another timeout. Now, keep in mind, they have no timeouts left, which means they're not going to be able to challenge.
And now
they have one?
Kansas City called the time.
Oh, by mistake.
Colts will go for the 2-point try. Pathan and Harrison go wide to the right. Wilkins comes left. Manning. Harrison, no. Hasty was draped with him.
Yeah, that was the wrong time to go after James Hasty. That's why you take a look at most of their work has been against Dishman. James Hasty smothered that. Colts up by 5.
Peyton Manning gets the touchdown from 7 yards out to put the Colts up by 5. 2-point try failed. Larry Parker had the fumble and the punt return with 13:53 remaining in regulation to set up the Colts go-ahead drive. Now Danny Kite booms this one.
So long.
Wow. Well, we chatted with Jim Moore about this youngster yesterday, and he really likes him.
Well, we had the game in New York against the Jets, and I know he kicked one out of bounds against the Jets. And last week against the Cowboys, you're watching the tape, he kicked 2 out of bounds last week against the Cowboys. Jim Moore has to like him a lot. And there better be a lot of those deep in the end zone. And boy, you look at the smile on Kite's face. Now, that makes it worthwhile.
Chiefs have it. 10:43 to go. Bam Morris has it for a 2-yard gain. Tripped up. And let's take a look at that try for 2.
Well, the money guys are involved in this one. Manning, Harrison, and James Hasty. Just a simple fade pattern. James Hasty reads that, though, all the way. Manning drops it in. Again, he drops it in where only his receiver has a shot at it. Just about 2 feet too far.
2nd down 8. Gerback across the middle. It's caught by Tony Gonzalez for a 1st down at the 36. That's a gain of 15.
And Tony, who hasn't been a huge part of this game offensively for Kansas City today, he's their leading receiver, not in terms of yardage, but in terms of the number of receptions. Everybody's running a crossing pattern, his 3rd catch of the day. And down the stretch, look for number 88 to be involved in this thing.
Handoff goes to the fullback, Tony Richardson, out to the 37-yard line.
Make noise and make a pass rush. That's what the Colts have to do.
Bam Morris, Chad Bratsky misses the tackle, but he's got some colleagues who supply some help. Led by Michael Barber, who came back on the field after being injured in the 1st quarter.
And that was really good news for the Colts, and they have now effectively stuffed Kansas City, setting up a 3rd and long. So you know the noise is going to come, but can they get close to Gerback? Bam makes Bratsky miss. Gerback has had great protection this game so far.
3rd and 9. He gets the protection again and goes for Gonzalez, incomplete. And the coverage provided by Jason Belzer. 4th down.
Well, Gerback, instead of using the shotgun, goes up under center. But look at the athleticism of Tony Gonzalez as he almost makes that catch. Well, when they had to, the Colts stiffened defensively, and they got a lot of help from this crowd.
Daniel Pope will punt it away to Wilkins. They try and kick it away from him, but he drifts right and gathers it in. Good downfield coverage by the Kansas City Chiefs. Ron George, 47-yard punt, 8 on the return. Colts have the lead in the ball. Terrence Wilkins came off after returning the punt. Looked like he might be a little nauseous. He's back up and had his helmet on for a moment, but remains in the sidelines right now. 1st down and 10. Indianapolis with a 5-point lead and 8:14 to go. That's Pollard in motion. The toss to Edgerrin James. He's got Glenn in front. Glenn obliterates Jerome Woods, and Edgerrin James is out to the 42. Gain of 20.
Well, this is a play that has really come into vogue this year. It's just the quick pitch. You don't even put much of a block on the defensive end of that side. In this case, it's Leslie O'Neal. Before you know it, he's to the outside. Now he's following Terry Glenn, his big tackle. But I got news for you, folks. If you think that Edgerrin James is near a sideline and he's just going to continue with the flow right on out of bounds, forget about it. Edgerrin James is not going out of bounds.
1st down and 10 after the gain of 20. Throw on 1st down, right side. Marcus Pollard, the tight end, to the 45-yard line. Reggie Tongue
I love teams that have the confidence, even when you're trying to run out the clock, take up a lot of time, to throw the ball on first down. What a luxury for an offensive coordinator to have enough faith in his offensive team and his quarterback to complete passes on first down and get yardage and keep the clock moving. Tom Moore is a lucky guy, and he knows it.
Indianapolis, with 70 points, leads the NFL in fourth quarter points produced. They have 7 thus far in the quarter. There's the stunt and the blitz, and the pass incomplete. It'll be third down.
That Donnie Edwards he almost intercepted that thing.
Donnie Edwards reminding us last night that he intercepted Peyton Manning in a collegiate game.
Well, he almost got him in a pro game there. If that ball wouldn't have been just a little too far out in front of him. He did a good enough job in knocking it away. Yeah, that was Peyton Manning was a freshman, Tennessee, right. UCLA, out at the Rose Bowl. And you know, he'd completely forgotten about it until we were talking last night. Vern, I think you said you ever seen Peyton before. And it
hey, wait a minute. Yeah. Wait a minute. I intercepted him in the Rose Bowl when I was a junior. He was a freshman. Third down. Blitz coming. Manning chased, caught, dropped for the second time today. Sacked only 4 times in the first 7 games. He's gone down twice today. Miami got him twice in their first encounter this year.
But he didn't get stupid with the football. A lot of people coming. The blitz is coming up the middle. First it's Chester, but then Donnie Edwards comes in and cleans up. But that was just a case where the Chiefs and Kurt Schottenheimer, their coordinator, threw 7 guys at Peyton Manning.
Hunter Smith, second punt. Larry Parker returned the last one to midfield, but then fumbled as he was in the process of going down. Nice punt by Smith. Fair catch. Parker inside the 15. Hunter Smith with a 51-yard punt. Net. Chiefs down by 5. Play fake. Gerbach steps up, settles for Lonnie Johnson out on the right flat, and Johnson is tackled as he gets to the 23-yard line. Mike Peterson and Jeff Burris are there defensively.
Well, now is the time. Kansas City, you know, they don't necessarily go into the hurry-up offense, but you certainly try to minimize your time in the huddle. You need a touchdown, and you don't assume that this will be your only possession. So, you know, you don't get reckless, but you move with some urgency.
Handoff, Bam Morris goes up the middle and picks up a first down at the 26-yard line. Mike Peterson with the tackle. 5:15 to go. And just a reminder, KC had to use a timeout as Indianapolis was lining up for a 2-point try, so they have 2 remaining. And the Colts have burned 2. They have only 1 timeout left. We're under 5 to go. Blitz coming from Burris. They chase Gerbach. He pulls up and lobs it incomplete.
Boy, was that great work by Elvis Gerbach. That was sensational. Jeff Burris comes on the corner blitz. Nobody touches him. Here he comes right here. But look at Elvis get outside of him. And then, just when it looked like he was going to step out of bounds, somehow was able to stop himself just long enough to throw the ball away. That wasn't glamorous. It just brings up a 2nd and 10, Vern. But that was a big play by Gerbach.
Gerbach gets pressure, lobs it left-handed. There's a flag down. Donnell Bennett makes the catch as Gerbach shifted hands and demonstrated his ambidextrousness.
Well, it'll be holding against Kansas City. Elvis having to put on some real theatrics.
10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Well, Dave Zott is the left guard, number 79. See him working right there against Ellis Johnson. Oh, Johnson gets underneath him, And Ellis Johnson is the guy that one of them gets back there. Chad Bratsky the other, but Sott called for the hold.
9th penalty against Kansas City, 2nd and 20.
Listen to this crowd.
4-man Colt rush. Screen pass to Bam Morris. Struggles to get back to the 21-yard line. It'll be 3rd and long. Mike Peterson with the tackle. Third and 14. Now, Colts are claiming that they were influenced. They were.
5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Glenn Parker is playing left tackle for the Chiefs. That's all it takes, just that tiny little rock back in your stance. And if you think it was loud last time, get a load of this.
3rd and 19. 3-man rush. They drop 8. Gerback incomplete, almost picked off. Cota got underneath it. It was intended for Joe Horn. It'll be 4th down. Cornelius Bennett, who has meant so much to this Colt team since coming here, what, 13 years after he was first drafted?
No kidding. After 9 years in Buffalo, Vern, 3 years in Atlanta. Great throw by Gerback. Horn not able to bring it in. And Joe Horn showing a little frustration at the end of the play. And Joe, if I were you, I'd look whose leg I had. That wasn't some cornerback. That was Cornelius Bennett.
Here's the punt from Pope, and Wilkins has it at the 37. Fun to watch, unless you're a Chief. Flag is down.
The flag is against Kansas City. But with this kind of field position, it'd be pretty tough to make a punt again. The flag has been picked up and deposited.
51 of the kicking team. Penalty is declined. 1st down.
That's one of those where the referee almost makes the decision for you. It's one of those that gives you that look where you wouldn't possibly be stupid enough to make them punt the ball again, would you? Well, this is really now an inordinate amount of pressure now on Kansas City defensively. Behind, 3.5 minutes left, and they're in their own territory to boot.
1st and 10 from the 46. Harrison goes back to the right side. They'll hand it to Edwin James. Pick up a 4. Down to the 42. The tackle made by Dan Williams, number 92. Chester McLaughlin and Tariq Glenn get into a little exchange. Time is called by Kansas City. They have 1 remaining. Indianapolis leading by 5. They had the go-ahead touchdown on a 7-yard Peyton Manning run. That occurred early in this quarter when Larry Parker fumbled a punt return at the 46-yard line. And the Colts took it in for the go-ahead score. Now they have a 2nd down and 6. And Edwin James gets the handoff and darts to the right side, goes by Chris Dickman.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is a rookie running back who this is a play headed over guard. He gets around a corner and then has the presence of mind to stay in bounds. Look at the lateral explosion, the setup and the fake of Dishman, and then the burst to the corner. And look at him stay in bounds. Look at the smarts on this rookie.
Kansas City calls time as Edgerrin James catches his breath. This is the 5th game in which he has exceeded 100 yards in his first year in the NFL.
This kid just makes Bill Polian look smarter every day, doesn't he? Everyone just kind of assuming that it's a foregone conclusion that Ricky Williams is going to be the choice of the Colts after they traded Marshall Faulk to the St. Louis Rams for a 2 and a 5.
I found it really interesting yesterday, Dan, talking with Edgerrin James about how during his holdout this summer, during contract negotiations, he was on the phone daily with Peyton Manning.
Wasn't that what did I miss today? What did you put in today? What can I work on here at home?
First down and 10. Manning to James again. And good work by James Hasty to grab a piece of cloth and pull him down.
James Hasty is a football player. James Hasty is the real deal when you're looking for a cornerback. What a fabulous, when he came over to the Chiefs from the Jets back in '95. You know, a lot of people wondering how much he had left. Well, folks, this guy, he is playing at the top of his game. And for a guy who's 34 years old, that doesn't happen very often at the cornerback position.
Second and 10. James gets the handoff, and Jerome Woods nice through to make the tackle behind the line. It'll be 3rd down and 12. Kansas City out of timeouts. The clock will, of course, stop at the 2-minute warning.
If you're Tom Moore, do you have the nerve to put it in the air?
The answer to this question when we return. When we went away, Tom Moore was biting his nails. He hasn't ceased doing that since.
He has no nails. They're gone now.
Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator, had to make the decision here. Throw, run.
Oh, I'd keep it on the ground. As much confidence as you have in Peyton Manning. I would throw it if it wasn't for the fact that Kansas City is out of timeout. But with 2 minutes, you run the ball even if you don't get the first down. You're still in field goal range. And a successful field goal can make things, you know, it puts the game really out of reach. Well, it makes it touchdown 2-pointer to time.
On the ground, Edgerrin James. And he is down inside the 20. Reggie Tongue made the tackle. Now the Chiefs cannot stop the clock. No sign.
Well, the Colts still have 1 timeout remaining, so they can let it go all the way down to 1 second on the play clock before they call a timeout if they're going to kick the field goal. I'd run up to the line and run a play. Chester McLaughlin's walked off the field for Kansas City.
That is the last Colt timeout.
And that's pretty effective use of the clock.
Mike Vanderjagt, 29 years old, only in his 2nd season in the National Football League, spent some time in the Canadian League, and he will try and add to the Colt lead.
And if he makes this, Vern, he's going to force Kansas City to score a touchdown and then have a successful 2-point conversion to send this game into overtime. And again, remember, Kansas City has no timeouts to do so.
Steve Walsh will hold. It's from 36 away. Vanderjagt 3 of 3 today. Nailed it. .110 to go. Colts by 8. Here's what they're trying to accomplish with a victory today. They would equal the number of wins in the last 2 years. Back-to-back seasons of 3 and 13.
Well, one of the things that Bill Polian has done is this isn't so much a case of teaching this team how to win because they brought in so many people. There is Bill Polian with the jacket on the left. one of the great football minds in the National Football League. One of the great tempers in the National Football League to go with it. But, one of my favorites. This guy has been on top of it for a long time.
Well, 2 losses for the Colts this season. They dropped one at New England with 35 seconds left, and to Miami as well. 1:10 to go. Joe Horn awaits Danny Kite's kick. This one will be returned from the 6. Joe Horn down at the 29-yard line.
Well, Vern, one of the things they wanted to do defensively, the Colts, was bring in free agents to upgrade this defense. Bratsky comes in from the Giants. Sean King from Carolina. Cornelius Bennett. Chad Cota. We've got a new starting rookie linebacker in Mike Peterson. Well, you know what? This is where, Bill, this is where you want it to pay off. You need your defense to come up big right now.
First and 10. 4-man rush. Pass left side. Derek Alexander up to the 38-yard line. Here comes Kansas City with the hurry-up offense. Chad Cota makes the tackle. On second down, Gerback lets it go to Donnell Bennett, who then proceeds to drop the ball.
Which is a good idea. Because if Bennett catches that and gets caught inbounds, then you lose another 10 or 12 seconds. You're better off dropping that than having a 2-yard gain.
Second game of the doubleheader coming up in just a moment. Pittsburgh at the 49ers, Denver, San Diego, and Cincinnati at Seattle.
Now, Vic Fangio last time goes with a 3-man rush, puts 8 guys in coverage. Setting up for that again.
Gerback, incomplete. Intended for Kevin Lockett. Skipped off his hands and bounced at the 45.
Because one of the things that the Chiefs had to do there was get a first down. You're saying, what are they doing throwing such a short pass? Well, they're in a 4th down situation right now. It wasn't so much the yardage, you know, forget the score. They were looking to keep this drive moving.
4th and 1. Gerback across the middle. That will be enough for the first down as Bennett makes the catch and Bennett makes the tackle.
And you see Gunther Cunningham telling him just to spike the ball, stop the clock. He does. 22 seconds. Well, there's not much time for dinking and tossing it over the middle now. They're going to have to go up top. As they say, they're going to have to get vertical. Horn's got speed. Derek Alexander's got big play capability. A 5-yarder here won't do it.
Joe Horn comes near side. Kevin Lockett is wide left. And the corners are playing 15, 20 yards off. And Gerback is hit as he lets it go, hit by Jason Belzer.
Is he hurt? That's what's important now. Is Elvis Gerback hurt? Elvis Gerback, who has been fighting injuries his entire career, wanted nothing more than in 1999 to stay healthy. From the left of your screen, Jason Belzer comes on a blitz and takes the helmet right in the ribs.
Elvis Gerback has taken every snap for Kansas City this season. The backup is 42-year-old Warren Moon, who last threw a pass in Seattle last year. Warren has not taken a snap from scrimmage so far this season.
And for those of you just joining us, Jason Belzer came on a blitz and just hit Elvis Gerback in the back. He had no idea that Belzer was coming on the blitz. We'll take a look at it. Belzer's going to come from the right side of your screen. See him coming? Gerback doesn't see him and takes the shot right in the back, and he is yet to move. Belzer's number 29. And luckily, even after being hit, Elvis was able to keep his arm moving forward, so it's an incomplete pass rather than a fumble.
Now, here is an ironic note. If Gerbach has to leave the game, he will become the 6th quarterback in as many weeks knocked out of a game by the Colt defense. Elvis Gerbach stays down. It's 3rd down when play resumes. Peyton Manning scored the go-ahead touchdown. It was 17-16, Kansas City leading with 13:53 to go in the 4th quarter of play when Larry Parker fumbled the punt return just across the 50-yard line. Here's Gerbach up and heading over to the Kansas City bench. Peyton Manning and Edgerrin James led the way downfield, and then Peyton Manning got the go-ahead touchdown 7 yards out. He scored, ironically, with the run, but he has displayed great cool again today.
And now Warren Moon comes in to try to work magic. Keep in mind, for Kansas City, they need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie this game, to send it into overtime with no timeouts remaining. So you're pretty much down to a miracle. And thankfully for Kansas City, even if they lose this game, at least Elvis Gerbach is up and moving.
This will be the first pass of the year for 42-year-old Warren Moon.
Now this would be too hard to believe if it happened.
Deep left side, man open, Kevin Lockett. So he completes his first play, and they stay inbounds. Three seconds to go. They spike the ball. There will be one play remaining.
Oh, now how is that? He's going to have enough time to go to the end zone for a jump ball. Ironic that here we are in the basketball center of the universe, and we're going to have a jump ball in the end zone on the last play of the game.
Elvis Gerbach, excuse me, Dan.
Oh, go ahead, Vern.
Was hit from behind by Jason Belzer, still in obvious pain. Here comes the final play of regulation. Warren Moon from the 40. Last play, Moon steps up, heaves it right for Joe Horn. Belzer's down there, and it is knocked away by Tony Blevins.
From 3-13, 2 years in a row, to opening up 99 at 6-2 for the Indianapolis Colts.
Because of the presence of Peyton Manning, Edgerrin James, and others. Well, we'll get there in a second.
Well, the Colts defense here is going to do a good job because they're just going to run Joe Horn clear out of bounds. It doesn't really much matter when the play's taking place outside the field of play. Nothing really bad can happen to Indianapolis there. All you want is a shot. Give me a chance. It doesn't work. Gunther Cunningham's going, well, I guess we shouldn't have been in this position to begin with.
These frisky young Colts go into New York to take on the Giants next week. And they go to Manhattan with a 6-2 record. They have won 4 in a row. Coming up next, the second game of our doubleheader. Many of you will see Pittsburgh at San Francisco, others Denver at San Diego, and some will view Cincinnati at Seattle. What a trio they have. Edgerrin James, Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison said yesterday, we've only been together for 8 weeks. For Bonnie Bernstein and Dan Deerdorf, I'm Vern Lundquist saying goodbye from Indianapolis.